An estimated 2 million American students a year travel to Washington, D.C. and New York City. This tradition has been a staple in American education for close to 5 generations. But very few know the real story of the educational tour industry, the corporate takeover, and when it all changed.
I'll never forget sitting in on one of my last board of director meetings and hearing a new member who had just sold us his company ask the board what he should say to his clients who were asking why the tour price was skyrocketing at the same time travel prices were falling. And without missing a beat, the CEO of our company stared him straight into the eye and said, "Why not just tell him the truth? Because we bought all the big companies and we can."
Before 1998, there was a thriving industry of educator-owned companies planning educational tours to the East Coast.
Educational travel has been my life. My father was a social studies teacher who in 1976 took a class of students to Washington, D.C. and was so moved by the effect that it had on his kids that he founded American Student Travel out of the spare bedroom in our home.
American Student Travel, or AST as it was frequently called, is a name no longer used in the industry, but one at the heart of a remarkable story that would come full circle nearly 30 years later. A story of family and dedicated educators.
AST was always about family. It was about making a difference. It was about giving kids who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to travel that experience. My father's company succeeded because he was never greedy. Thousands of teachers followed him, were loyal to him, and believed in him. He really was an educator and an innovator, and he never compromised quality or integrity of the product.
By the end of the 1990s, AST was taking 40,000 students a year to the East Coast and had become a model for the growing educational tour industry. As the travel industry was changed by do-it-yourself websites, the educational tour market remained a niche industry until it caught the eye of the world's richest investment bankers. One of their first 2 targets was American Student Travel.
My father had gone from a social studies teacher to the most respected tour operator in America in 20 years, and now we had the attention of Wall Street's private equity firms.
Over the next 5 years, investment bankers seized control of the tour industry through a series of leveraged buyouts.
All the corporations wanted from each company that they would buy would be their client list and their goodwill. In other words, we were supposed to smile and tell our clients that they were getting the best product, despite the fact that everything that made the tour so great had been gutted. 20-year career master guides were replaced by new hires off websites with no experience required, given a new title like course leader and an iPad and maybe a one-day training seminar. The hotels were moved almost an hour outside the city. Now you had to sit in 2 hours of traffic and commute each day. And worse yet was the introduction of Wall Street banker tactics, late fees, fuel price surcharges, even when the airline didn't charge one, 100% cancellation penalties. If you cancel within 45 days, they keep every single dollar. With 250,000 students a year now going on the trip, every $4 they could get from a student would be an extra $1 million to their bottom line. And despite all of the massive slashing they did on costs from hotels and airlines and everything, you would think the tour prices could actually drop, but instead, they raised prices on students through the roof. The corporate executives could never really understand why we cared so much. In their eyes, we stood to gain so much more money under their master plan. This has never been about money. This has always been about family, about teachers, about students, about the experience. I had to step down from the board and either leave the industry that I loved altogether, which is exactly what the chains wanted me to do, or dedicate myself to a new mission, build the best East Coast tour company ever known.
In August of 2002, Lance Harvey announced he was forming a new student tour company, School Tours of America.
My first priority when starting the company was to go after the most experienced, passionate, dedicated educational tour planners in the industry and offer them a vested stake to come with me. Within 48 hours, every single person I recruited said yes. Vendors started calling, ticket brokers, bus companies, resumes from other chain employees. It was like we offered everybody hope. By standing up to the chains, the best East Coast vendors were far more willing to stand behind us and trust the 30-year history they had developed.
And despite this all-out assault by the tour chains, how did School Tours of America do?
Second year, we grew by 800%, the single largest one-year growth in the history of the student travel industry. School Tours of America will always remain a fraction of the size of the big tour chains. It's never our interest, it's never our goal to become the biggest. We always want to remain the best.
Well into their second decade, School Tours of America has returned the focus to the East Coast trip and has regained that loyal client base that was a hallmark of AST.
We like to call it the ST Advantage. What we did at STA was essentially create an all-star cast by bringing together the most respected, experienced coordinators and operators at every single position. And then we really did something novel. We listened to the teachers and asked them what it was that they needed out of this experience. First, they told us that they wanted a return of the master guides. These guys are finely skilled craftsmen. They're historical storytellers. Most of them possess a master credential from the Guild. They have firsthand accounts of the civil rights movement, of Watergate, of Vietnam. They were probably guiding on 9/11, but most importantly, guiding on the East Coast has been their career. Then our focus was on returning customization and tour value to the East Coast tour. As an East Coast educational boutique, we know your preferences. We ask your favorite guides, your hotels, your restaurants, your travel schedules. We give teachers maximum input on all of these details. And then we use the 3 decades of experience in our relationships to book all of your private appointments. We put all of our groups in close-in hotels within minutes of the destination. Just those changes alone increase the tour time by 25%. Over a 4-day trip, that's almost an entire day our groups gain. And just as important, we brought back transparency and integrity. No more punishing late fees, no fake surcharges or full cancellation penalties. To the contrary, our customer service reps work individually with families to do everything possible to accommodate their payment schedules. We went a step further to ensure that every student that wants to go on this trip can afford to. So we developed My Tour Fund, an innovative, state-of-the-art fundraising platform giving every kid the chance to raise the tour price on their own. Educationally, instead of calling ourselves a school and offering teachers and students tour company transcripts, we partner with Adams State University, a public state university and national leader in professional development, giving both of our teachers and students truly valuable credits. As educators, we definitely appreciate the selfless work of the middle school teacher. So our teacher rewards program is second to none. We never place teachers in a conflict of interest by tying their rewards to future travel or watered down fam trips. Our reward program is probably 3 times as valuable, and the teachers can allocate the rewards as they see fit. Finally, our customer service is on another level. Your coordinator is also an owner of the company, empowered to handle your concerns. Our coordinators and our operations staff average 23 years at their job. It's their career. Teachers are our family members, and in fact, every teacher has the personal cell phone not only of their coordinator, but of me and my father.
School Tours of America goes one step further in their grassroots, word-of-mouth marketing efforts.
We let our clients be our marketing. We don't have fake testimonials or Madison Avenue survey companies. We invite all new prospects to talk to actual teachers in their area who've traveled with their current company and school tours. No other company can do that because our clients don't leave. And if you don't want to call another teacher, we post their video testimonials right on our website, their names, their experience level. We invite you to hear their words, the words straight from their mouth. Just real talk, teacher to teacher, parent to parent, student to student. The only voices that really matter.